You know, we all think that big ideas arrive in this big flash of lightning, right? But the truth is, it's almost never like that. It's usually this messy, chaotic, but kind of brilliant process. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of those exact journeys. And trust me, it starts in a place you would never expect.
Yep, you're seeing that right. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. It sounds like something straight out of a Disney movie, doesn't it? But this isn't just a fun, playful word. This was the actual starting pistol for what turned into a massive creative marathon. And see, that one whimsical word, it was actually the answer to a super simple question. But that one little question, oh, it was about to spiral into something way, way bigger than anyone could have imagined.
And what it unlocked was this really powerful new idea. An idea for what some might call a chaotic brain. You know, the kind that jumps all over the place. But here's the thing. It's not about fixing that kind of brain. It's about building a space where it can actually thrive. This whole story is about finding that little bit of clarity right in the middle of all that beautiful, creative chaos.
Okay, so let's dive into part one. Our story kicks off with a problem that is, let's be real, incredibly relatable.
There it is. What the hell do I call this Facebook group? That's it. That's the question that started this whole avalanche. We're not talking about some grand vision or a lofty mission statement here. Nope. It all started with the very real and kind of hilarious problem of just naming something.
And you can see how this thing just snowballed. It started out kind of jokey, right? The Supercalifragilistic Society, or my personal favorite, what the hell do we call ourselves? But then, look what happens. It gets more serious. The Chaos Collective, the Embodiment Emporium, the Grounded Guild. All of a sudden, the search for a name wasn't just about a name anymore. It was forcing a much deeper question. What are we actually building here? What is this all about?
So that's what leads us to part two. That whole quest for a name, it opened up a Pandora's box, really. It forced this much deeper dive into not just what the group was, but what it means to be a person, to have an identity.
And the first major breakthrough idea they landed on was this concept of the prism. Think about it. When you shine a single beam of light, that's you, your story. Through a prism, what happens? It refracts into this entire spectrum of colors. That's the metaphor. When you share who you are with a group, they get to see the full, complex spectrum of your experiences, both the beautiful and, yeah, the painful stuff too.
But here's the catch. The prism isn't just this pretty rainbow, it's loaded. It carries all our baggage, right? All those warnings from our past, that little voice in your head that says, hey, you better watch yourself, kid. It's a reminder that you're not detached from your past. The prism refracts not just your story, but also the heavy weight of all those expectations and past experiences.
And this right here, this is a huge turning point in the story, because the whole prism idea, it feels a little passive, doesn't it? Like something that just happens to you. But then the question became, what if you aren't just one spectrum? What if you're way more complex than that? What if you could actually choose what parts of yourself to show? What if you could control your own light?
And boom, that question leads to an even more powerful metaphor, the mask. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking. Masks, isn't that about being fake? But that's not it at all. The big idea here is that it's about the conscious choice of which part of your true, authentic self you present to the world. It's not about hiding, it's about curating. It's a symbol of taking back control, of having agency.
Okay, so this next part, this is where the whole story just pivots on a dime. The search that started with a Facebook group name, it completely turns inward. It becomes this intense search for the self, and it all leads to this massive aha moment.
This quote right here, this is the raw emotional heart of the whole thing. No, I don't want to get you, I want to get me. Think about that. It's this total rejection of that need we all feel for other people to understand us, to get us. It's the realization that the real work, the only work that actually matters, is that messy, frustrating, never-ending journey of trying to figure ourselves out first.
And it keeps going. What you get yourself is the problem you created. Wow. That's basically saying that we are the architects of our own mazes. The challenges we're struggling with, the problems we're so desperate to solve, they all start right here, inside of us.
But here's the beautiful flip side to that. If you're the one who created the problem, then you are also the only one who can be the hero. You have the blueprint. You are both the problem and the solution. I mean, talk about a powerful statement of self-empowerment. That's it, right there. So you have this huge, profound breakthrough, but what do you do with it? It can't just be an abstract idea, right? Well, this discovery ended up being the actual key that unlocked a real-world product, a tangible solution born directly from this whole messy, chaotic journey. So the question becomes, how do you turn a personal revelation into something real for other people?
Well, this is what you get, the 30 Tabs Club. I love that name. All that philosophical talk, the prisms, the masks, being your own hero, it all coalesced into this, a sanctuary, a home, for anyone whose brain feels like it has 30 tabs open at all times. And I love this term neurospicy because it perfectly describes brains that are just wired a little differently, not broken, just different. The name itself is a message. Hey, we see you. You have a place here.
And this right here, this really gets to the core of what it's all about. It's a complete rejection of that old, toxic hustle culture we've all been sold. Look at the difference. The old way says, grind alone. The new way says, come home to yourself first. The old way is about chasing some empty idea of efficiency. The new way is about building with a real community. And this last one is so important. Instead of fighting your nature, you use your nature. It flips the whole script. The community itself becomes the system.
And this is the promise. Your brain is not broken, it's powerful. We'll prove it. I mean, that's not just a catchy tagline, is it? That is a mission statement. It takes this thing that so many of us have been told is a weakness, oh, you can't focus, and it completely reframes it. It says, no, that's your superpower. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
So how does this actually work in practice? Well, here's how that big philosophy becomes a super practical tool. It's a really simple 4-step process designed specifically for a brain that feels overwhelmed. Step 1, you just dump everything out. No judgment. Just get it all out. Step 2 is huge. It visually contains that chaos, gives it a boundary, which gives you this instant sense of relief. Then you get to play. You drag the exciting bits into little clusters, find the fun in it. And finally, you protect your mission. You set a hyperfocus hour to dive into just one of those clusters. You see, it's a system that works with the chaos, not against it.
So, after all that, from a silly word to a Facebook group to prisms and masks and becoming your own hero, we end up right here with this one powerful question for you. What if all that chaos you feel, what if it isn't a bug? What if those scattered thoughts, those 30 open tabs, what if that isn't something you need to fix? What if it's the very core of how you operate? What if it's just your operating system?